to After Hours on the Paddle and Fin Podcast. Listener discretion advised.
Hello and welcome back to the Paddle and Fin After Hours.
What's up?
Hey everyone.
Hey, what's up?
We got Brad Hicks. We got the new newbie, the new and improved noob, Mr. Sean. How do you pronounce your last name? Is it Lavery or Lavery?
Lavery.
Lavery.
Yep.
And none other than Susie Roloff.
She said cheers.
Yeah. Susie's sipping on some tequila. Brad Hicks is pounding down a Klondike bar.
And some water.
Sean's rocking a new mic. And I got a 312.
312.
Little Goose Island action.
Ah.
I stole it from the shop after the seminar.
Nice.
Sorry, Rocktown.
Yeah. I got my new boat today.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So
That's
what
the red
made
line?
what made you go red line, bro?
I get to be different, I guess. So,
Just like the color?
yeah, be different and to be seen on the water, I guess, on lakes.
I like it, dude. We got one on the shop floor. It's a sharp red.
Yeah, I like it. It looks better in person than it did in the pictures.
Here's a good question. Do you guys like solid color boats versus like the multicolored?
I do. I guess it depends on what boat.
So when you say multicolored boats, are you talking like the camo colors? Because like that's kind of the only multicolored I can think of. Well, I guess Oceanside kind of has kind of like some multicolors too, don't they?
Yeah, like Jackson's usually are multicolored. Well, Hobie's got the new like green camo, doesn't it?
And a blue
Mhm.
camo
Green
too,
and
right?
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, the blue and the green. Yep. You'll see that green a lot better than you will that blue, though.
I know Native's got some multicolors. New canoes are usually multicolored.
Jackson's is too.
Yeah, Jackson's multicolored. They do have some solid color boats with like some lighter colors mixed in. Like I know we sold a bite at the shop today, and it was that green color, but it's got a little bit of gray flake. It's almost like glitter mixed in, you know?
Huh. I was at the shop today, and we have one RS-117 in the Canyon color in stock. Have you seen that yet?
We got one too. It's pretty slick.
I like it in the picture. When you see it in person, I hate it.
Yeah, I agree.
Ricketts says it looks like somebody threw ketchup and mustard on a boat.
I agree. Hold on. I need to shed an article of clothing here.
But I think if they took away the yellow,
Too
or
sexy
didn't
for
make
my
it,
shirt. Too sexy for my shirt.
Taking it off already, man.
I just saw his nipple.
No, I made sure my shirt was pulled down before I took the hoodie off. It's a little too warm in here for that.
No, I think if they took yellow out of that 117, though, I think it'd be a little bit better.
Yeah, I think the yellow is just too much. Even though it's minimal in it, but it catches your eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
It is weird. But like I said, it looked good in person or on picture.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool when they released it.
Yeah.
Are the VSBs all one color?
Not anymore. They went with Arctic, Dorado, and Forest Camo. So the Forest Camo is like a camel color. Arctic is like white, black, and gray. And then the Dorado is green, blue, and it's like green and blue, I think.
Yeah, that
but
sweet.
last year they had Bone, which was like that lighter, whitish tan color.
Mm-hmm.
I think I test paddled one, and I think that's what color the one I test paddled was. The
Yeah.
bone.
Yeah, I like the Bone.
Ricketts had the bone and the teal one, didn't he? I think he
I
had
don't know
the
if he had
teal
the-
when I first met him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't like that teal color. It's odd.
Yeah, Bonafide has one too. That endless summer, whatever.
Yeah.
Tiki.
The
Yeah.
tiki color, yeah.
We're
Well,
having
they
a hard
had-
time selling that.
Well, yeah, they had that lighter blue color before too. What was it called before? Because they had Cool Hand Blue,
I can't remember.
and then I think it was Endless Summer or something, right?
That I thought the endless summer was this year, unless they brought that color back.
Yeah, it looks like the end of summer is this year.
What was the one before that though? It was like that lighter, weird blue color.
Ah, come on.
It was.
Yeah,
No offense, Susie. It was kind of a girly color.
It's cool.
I was trying to look.
Susie's like, it's cool. I got some tequila, yo.
Honey Badger don't give a fuck.
I like it. I like it.
I think that's her new nickname,
Honey Badger?
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger.
Remember? She said she didn't have a
She
nickname
did.
last
Yep,
week.
I heard her say that.
Oh shit. Susie's Honey Badger. I get it. I like it.
That's awesome. I like it.
Honey Badger.
Hold on.
Sean could be Noob 2.0.
Yeah.
I'll own it. Yeah.
You got a nickname that your buddies call you, Sean?
In college, I was always Little Sean because there was another Sean that was like 6'7", and I'm only 5'7", so I was Little Sean. But college was also 20 years ago, so.
You're dating yourself. Oh
yeah.
Oh, speaking of
Look at
nicknames.
that. Honey Badger
Speaking
it
of
is.
nicknames, I got a text from Jay Randall today. He had another nickname from Ryan Milford.
Ryan thought he was going to get away from not getting picked on today, but I guess that's not happening.
Jay texted me, I got it, ... Ryan equals Whistlepuss.
Whistlepuss.
Yeah.
I know the whistle because he whistles when he talks, but
Yeah.
what's with the other part?
I don't know. I guess it just sounded good to Jay. Who knows?
That's awesome.
Good
In that
old-
case, I'm going to be happy with Noob 2.0 because that sounds way better.
Just wait. We all go through like this phase of nicknames within the group. It's pretty humorous at times.
Oh yeah, Jason has had like 4 different nicknames in the group chat.
Yeah.
So have you.
I have too, I guess. You're
Did you-
chunks. You're chunks right now.
He's been chunks for a while.
Everybody calls me that. The plumber calls me that. Electricians call me that. My dad calls me that. The guys I work with call me. It started out at work.
Sam's got the best one though. He's motherfucking Jones.
Motherfucking Jones.
Because of that movie. I forget what movie that was from.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Which
Yeah,
one?
Oh, geez, yeah. That's pretty
I
much
don't know.
every movie he's in.
Milford currently is Ryan Cheeseford because of the whole Cheesegate 2.0. Jay Randall's Toothy Critter because he likes the pike. Josh Eldridge, Trash Panda. Dustin Nichols told the story of why he's doo-doo. Dan Perry is dude, what the fuck? Who set my nickname to Salty Schiller?
How
Hey.
long did it even take you to notice that?
I was gonna say,
your
it's-
nickname has been that for a while.
Really?
I set that. Yeah, I set that like forever ago because
You
were
did
all-
that?
Yes. You were all salty about something. I was like, oh, he's getting a nickname change, man.
What the hell, Susie?
I remember
Oh,
it
yeah.
being changed, but I couldn't remember why. Here's what Sam's is named after.
Somebody help you out with some business.
Yep.
Well, Are you a businessman? Yeah. Motherfucker Jones. Motherfucker Jones.
What movie is that?
His name is Motherfucker? Not motherfucker, motherfucker. White people say Negroes say
That's Jamie Foxx, dude. That guy's hilarious. I forget what movie that's from.
Daniel
Horrible
I was
Bosses.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Daniel Perry is Spreadsheet Dan since he did that episode with Milford. And he said he had that spreadsheet. We still, to this day, get emails about that. They did that episode, like, what, November?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
We just got an email, the other day, like 3-4 days ago. Some guy was like, hey, just listen to that episode. Can I get that spreadsheet from Dan?
Did he hook him up with it?
Oh, yeah. I forwarded it in the group chat, so I'm sure he
Nice.
sent it. But, yeah, man. Salty Schiller. Ouch. I'm hurt. I'm crushed.
I can't remember what that's from.
I don't know. I was probably on one of my tangents, you know? That happens from time to time.
I can find
You haven't been too active lately, man. You been busy?
Yeah, been busy, been sick,
Oh yeah.
trying to catch up on sleep from shows.
Yeah, I forgot you thought you had the coronavirus.
No, I knew I didn't have the coronavirus, but I thought I realistically had like a heart attack or a stroke after the live Tuesday night. I don't know. I wasn't feeling right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Wasn't good. So,
Yeah, that sucks. I know
Well,
how that
it's,
goes.
yeah, you have heart attacks and strokes.
No, being sick.
But yeah.
You'll know it when it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had a heart attack, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah,
yeah.
he talked about it on the show.
We got to
Yeah.
talk about this. We got to talk about this. So what did it feel like?
I felt like an elephant sitting on my chest.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I think
At
was
first,
more
I
of a
felt like indigestion, and then I started like sweating real bad, and I was like, something just isn't right, man. This isn't right. And then the weight, it just started getting like weight on my chest, and it started getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and yeah, it sucked.
And you figured out it was like genetic, right, or something?
Yeah, that's really all they could figure because I was in really pretty good health. I had finished a half marathon about 6 months before and was still in pretty good shape. But the closest they could track it, though, they said if it hits somebody as young as I am, that it's like your father, his grandfather, his great grandfather down the line. But my dad didn't really. He has like some issues, but not anything bad. But his mom, her 4 brothers, all died of heart attacks in their 50s. So
Holy crap.
that's the closest they could get. And so they said, we're pretty sure it's just genetics. And now that I, know that, I just had no clue, no reason to really get my cholesterol checked because I thought I was pretty good, in pretty good shape.
Interesting.
But yeah, so
That's
but yeah.
crazy, dude. How old are you?
yeah, I'm 43 now. I was 39 when I had it. So
Holy crap.
cow.
yeah, the nurses were like, well, crap, if your arteries look like that, I don't want to know what my arteries look like because.
For real, dude. Man.
And
That's
I didn't really
insane.
even eat that badly. I was, I didn't eat great, but I didn't eat like fast food every day or anything like that. I thought I was doing good, but. So,
Yeah, you just never know, man. That's crazy.
That's
I
my
remember
problem.
sitting in the hospital thinking, I cannot believe I'm here right now. Like I am in this situation. It was the last thing I expected. So,
That's nuts, dude.
but
Well,
yeah,
Thank God you're all right, man.
yeah,
You're still here.
I got a second chance and I'm making the most of it. So.
Yep.
I dig it.
Yeah, I get anxious talking about that stuff, man. I'm not gonna lie.
My bad.
Why are you anxious?
I just do. I'm a hypochondriac.
Are you crawling out of your skin right now?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, you don't even like when you get touched by your wife, from what you said on the last After Hours. Yeah.
Better just leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time I see you, I'm gonna give you a really big hug.
You're crush me, dude. Freaking
I'm just gonna hold you. I'm
Jolly
not gonna
Green
let you
Giant.
go. I'm gonna watch you freak out and squirm like a freaking worm or something.
Oh, man.
Brother's got a hug, man.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
Tommy boy.
Yeah.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
Hug. Richard, is this your coat?
Oh, I love that
That guy,
movie.
a little coat.
That is a good movie.
What were you doing over there by the window?
I bet she dates one of the Yankees.
Who's your favorite little rascal?
Now I'm gonna have to watch it.
Spanky?
Oh, that's awesome.
Bobby Wackett? Oh, what a classic movie, man.
I think that's the second time we've referenced that movie
Is it?
on this episode. Segment.
Tommy Boy. I love it. Tommy Boy is a great movie.
Have you guys seen Black Sheep?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one too.
Been a long
Oh, yeah.
time since I've seen that one.
Underrated one, in my opinion. It's good.
What's it? Nick Nolte plays
Sergeant Savage. Yeah.
Sergeant Savage. That's the best part. You ready, soldier?
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. He's a weird looking dude.
Nick Nolte? That's all the drugs, dude.
I was gonna say he's been through some stuff. I think.
Wasn't he on like Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew or some shit?
Jeez. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you're a youngin'. How old are you now?
31.
Oh, you're not that young.
Yeah, I'm old enough for my knees to start hurting every day.
Oh, just
Oh.
wait, man.
You're in for a real treat.
Dude, my leg hurts
I'm
right
on my
now.
knees. I'm on my knees a lot at work.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you work in the alley.
Hey, my wife's name's Allie.
It's all coming together.
Mm.
Oh, jeez. I'm glad she doesn't listen to these.
Oh, she would hate you. She would hate you. You talking about how you like her balls in your jaws and
Well, I actually did
Okay,
play that
Allie.
part for her.
oh yeah, what'd
Yeah.
she say about that?
She just laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
Does Sean know about the balls?
I heard that episode. That was prior to me joining, but I definitely listened to that one. Yeah.
Oh, nice, dude. You got to go to Ohio and get some balls in your jaws.
Yeah, coming to Ohio, I'll put some balls in your jaws.
All right, man.
She set us up when we were out there for the meetup, man. She sent a whole thing full.
Yeah, if we come out to Illinois, I'll make sure she does it again.
Oh yeah, you make sure she just comes with the balls. You can stay home.
No, I want to fish.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a date for that.
We need to figure out a couple dates.
Well, I'll say this here. I'll be in Texas the Easter weekend, fishing with Dustin. So if anybody wants to meet up, Doug Mosley. I know he's been calling me out
Oh yeah.
for when I go down to Texas. So I'm stoked for that trip, dude.
It's fishing with
Right.
Dustin.
Redfish, sea trout, Dustin Nichols. I mean,
I
Come
wish
on.
he was on right now, man.
yeah, where is that son of a bitch?
Because
He's probably
he's-
working.
Yeah, he said something about diving on a alligator or something.
Yeah, I don't know. He was trying to freak me out. I know that much. I was like,
I'm-
bro, not me. I ain't
It'd be-
into that.
Be something good to talk about, man. You should see if he's like up for it, getting on.
I don't think he responded to anything.
I didn't see his name on anything today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be at work. He works a goofy schedule down there. He's usually like 14 days on, 14 days off, and I think usually he's in the night shift.
14 off.
was
I'd have
gonna
a hard
say.
time going to work after that.
Yeah,
That rocks on the days off, but on the days on, man, that's got to be a drag.
that's why he
Yeah.
gets to fish so much, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
I think I might be going tomorrow or today if you guys are listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the kayak out. I don't know where I'm gonna go.
I went out today.
How'd it go?
And
I didn't catch shit.
where did you go?
Banner.
Is that why you're drinking tequila?
Well, no, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. No.
Oh,
What?
Susie's had a rough day.
It's more like a rough month, rough year, rough everything. It's just like
Well, I don't
everything.
hear Adam in the background. Did you?
That's because he's not here.
I was gonna say, did you do something to Adam? What did Adam do? Adam's like currently tied up and ball gagged in the closet. Poor Adam. Susie goes out fishing, doesn't catch any fish. She comes home and like beats her husband, you know? She's not denying it. Poor Adam.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Oh, man.
No, I was the wind was really going in. Tomorrow the wind's supposed to be worse too, so I'm just like, son of a bitch. But like, it's 46 degrees, and where the wind was blowing it up on shore is pretty chocolate milk. But like the rest of the water was still kind of stained, which is kind of typical for Banner, but it was 46. And I mean, I was trying the jerk bait, I was trying a chatterbait, I was trying slow rolling a spinner bait, I tried some crankbaits. I ran over some nice bait balls, and like I could see the bigger fish around them, but I just couldn't get them to hit. But I think it might have been white bass. But I didn't have any jigs or anything with me like that, so I was like, I wonder if maybe it's a jig bite right now or something. So
Yeah.
Why didn't you go after the white bass?
yeah.
Those things are fun.
Oh, I
Especially when
know.
they're schooling.
Right, yeah. But I didn't see a whole lot by the bait balls. I would go over them and they'd be huge. And then like maybe underneath there'd be a couple, and then like behind it there'd be a couple. It didn't seem like there was a whole lot, so I don't know.
I'm sure there's. What was the water temps?
46.
Oh, wow. Already?
Yeah. That's what it was a
Wow.
week ago too, was 46.
So I looked at the river gauge today, and my river here in Ohio was 42, I think.
Great
44.
Miami.
Yeah, 44
Yeah.
degrees.
Interesting.
It was last time I was out there with Josh like 2 weeks ago. It was 36, something like that.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
cold.
That's cold.
Yep. But we had the dry suits, dude. Those things worked nicely.
Yeah.
I was warm the whole time.
Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet.
But yeah.
When are you getting out on that Susquehanna?
I
Is
was
it
out last weekend.
Susquehanna or Susquehanna?
I say Susquehanna.
Susquehanna is how I say it too.
Yeah.
You went out last?
I was out last Sunday for a little bit. I didn't have any luck, but it was more just trying the Hobie out. That was the first time I had the Hobie in the river. So I was more just trying to make sure I knew what I was doing. So
You see that? You said Hobie, and Susie started smiling. She was like, yes, I'm not the only one.
no.
Right.
It seems like everybody in the group's either Hobie or Jackson right now.
Well, I had a Kusa before that, so
Okay.
No, you and Sam are in Bonafides.
Dang, I always forget about Sam. He never talks, that's why. He's
Then,
busy though, dude.
And then DP's in a native.
Yeah. That reminds me, if I do get out tomorrow, I might be fishing with Justin, and he just bought a native Slayer Max.
Oh, did he really?
So if he does, I'm gonna try it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He's gonna use that in the river, just without the drive.
No, that's
what?
gonna be his tournament rig. He's gonna be using the Kusa in the river still.
Oh, okay. You guys going out on a lake, or are you gonna go in the river?
Probably lake, maybe.
Cowan?
No. Kaiser, probably. It's one of my favorite lakes. I've never fished it when there's cold water, so I'd
Interesting.
like to get out there and try it. I know Justin's caught some like an 18-incher when the water's like 45 degrees once.
Nice.
So
I like
it'd be
it.
cool.
Su- Susie, I got to figure out foot pegs for my Outback. You got any hints for when because the Susquehanna is pretty shallow at times, and I want to be able to paddle, but I don't have any place to prop my feet. I can paddle, obviously, but
What model? Outback
2020. It's new.
Oh, you got a 2020. So you got the new one. Okay.
I know the PA14 has actual places you can put them, right, or something. I was reading.
Not really. I mean, well, yeah, not really. Like the older style Outbacks, they have like ridges on the inside of the hole down where the pedal drive was. So that way, when you pulled it out, you could put your feet up against there, almost like pedal or foot stirrups, almost in a sense. But I mean, on that, you just kind of just put your feet flat and then just kind of do from there. I never really paddled a whole lot in my Hobie. And I mean, when I did, it was either just because like the moss was just stupid thick and I was kind of sitting up, so I really had to dig. So my feet were flat. It's not like I could kind of lean back and, use them kind of like that. So.
Gotcha.
Sean, do you wear a dry suit?
I do.
Okay.
I have one. I just got it probably in November. The paddle dealer near us had a 40% off deal, so I got a Stolquist that was originally $500 for like $300. So
Nice.
I remember.
Did you hear me? Oh, that was when I first went out with that. Getting out of that was horrible.
Yeah. I remember.
I'm so glad nobody was there watching because, oh man, I was so frustrated.
I remember hearing that on the podcast now.
Yeah.
The
I heard the same thing.
Stolquist Easy Dry Suit.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the one I was looking at before we got the NRS because they are cheaper.
I think I might jump up to NRS at some point, but this will at least get me out and extend my season a little bit. So
Stolquist is a good brand.
I just got to get the neck gasket figured out now. It's still choking me like crazy.
I believe Stolquist and NRS are the same company.
I think they are. Yeah.
Okay.
Or is it? Or no? What? Yeah.
I thought I heard that too.
Is it Stolquist and NRS or?
Is it a semi-dry suit or a dry suit with the rubber gasket?
Yeah. It has gaskets on the feet or wrists and then stocking feet and on the neck, so it's good.
Okay. Yeah.
I've heard people doing something along the lines of taking like a paint can and putting like some oil or something around it and putting the gasket in there to help stretch it out.
I have a bucket, an ice cream bucket in mine right now hanging in the closet, so just to see.
Leave it in there for like 3 weeks. That's what I did with mine.
Okay.
The guy from NRS told me to get that spray bottle of 303.
Yes, that's what it was.
Aerospace stuff. Spray it and then let it sit in that.
Okay.
He said it'll stretch it out. Mine finally feels better though, but the first time I put it on, dude, I thought I was gonna pass out. It was
I could
crazy.
feel my heartbeat in my neck. I'm like,
It's kind of scary, dude. I was like,
and I felt like I couldn't even turn my head real good either. But
that kind of
my wife was like, "You better take it off. Your face is getting really red." I was like, I know.
I bring home my new Hobie in a week.
The 360?
360, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
You haven't said that in a while.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
You know,
we haven't
jelly.
talked about this yet, and it just happened this past weekend, dude.
What?
The
Bassmaster Classic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Sam and DP went live from there today.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it or anything, but
I caught part of it.
I watched a little too, yeah.
Let's talk about it. Did you guys watch the leaderboards and stuff?
I did at work a little bit.
Impressive. Couple of shocking moments, late entries. I'm on board with what you said about the weigh-in though, Brad.
Yeah, dude.
It didn't seem like the hype was there. I think there was way more hype at the FLW event that was in conjunction with KBF than there was the Bassmaster.
Yeah.
It was like you said, they kind of like sped through it, and it just seemed like it was like, all right, hurry up, let's get these guys done and off the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was nothing to do with the tournament. It was the guy that was on the stage. The guy that usually does the Bassmaster weigh-ins, he's like, Stetson Blaylock, 87 inches, or something, you know?
Yeah.
This guy was just like,
Yeah, he was just kind of like, meh.
And it took 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was super quick.
Yeah. I just thought those guys deserved better than that.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
Nothing to do with the tournament, though. Everybody's talking up Dwayne Wally and Steve Owens. So.
We're gonna sign you up for being the new announcer, dude.
Dude, actually, if you saw my post today, John Graves posted a picture of him in like this outfit, and he's like in the middle of a boxing ring with a mic, and he's standing like, looks like he's announcing something. I was like, yeah, you'd be the perfect guy. He would. He would
do an awesome job.
He would.
Johnny Graves.
I referred him over to Josh on the Darkwaters. I was like, you need to have him on. He's like he's one of those guys you gravitate toward.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. But what I was reading, everybody said that the Bassmaster was an awesome ran tournament and everything. So
yeah.
They were talking on the live show today about it being a one-day show instead of a 2-day, or a one-day tournament instead of a 2-day tournament, and how they didn't necessarily like that as much. But
yeah,
say tournament.
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 I noticed that
you got that East Coast swag in your.
I was gonna say that.
Tournament.
Matt Ball does that. Jake Harshman says that. I noticed like Eastern Ohio and Pennsylvania areas say tournament.
Tournament.
Yeah, from Jersey.
I didn't realize I had an
Jersey.
I was talking to some lady today from Jersey. I noticed it right away.
You know, I live 4 hours from Pittsburgh, and even they have an accent.
Pittsburgh definitely does.
Yeah.
I love it when I go down south and people look at me funny, like I got an accent. I'm like, what are you talking about? I talk normal.
Well, I went up to Minnesota, and my friend, my friend's girlfriend was like, "You guys sound Southern." I'm like, "I'm from Ohio. I ain't Southern."
You do sound Southern.
I kind of thought that too.
Does a little bit.
When I first heard you, yeah.
Well, after she said that, I noticed that like here in Ohio, we pronounce our we say our I's long, so like all right, they're like longer than a normal person.
I got you. I
don't know. I guess there's a little twang there. I guess.
It's
Not as much as Ryan though.
No, Ryan's got the Southern drawl down.
What are you talking about?
Shuffling
We love you, Milfy. We love you, Milfy.
Every week one of these comes out, something said, and he's just like, "You guys always pick on me."
Well, I thought I wasn't gonna make it, and I was like, all right, I'll be the butt of jokes this week if I don't make it, and he was very excited about that. Well, unfortunately, I made it. Sorry, Milford.
You snooze, you lose.
That's funny.
Gotta love it. So what do you think, Sean? Do you like being part of this crazy group of kayak fishing junkies?
Absolutely, man. I feel like I'm home. You know, I've had, the conversations that I've had. Just, it's being able to talk to people who know what I'm talking about and feel as passionately about it as I do. It's awesome, because then most of the time I'm talking to people at work and they're like, "You fish out of your kayak? What?" I mean,
I know. Like, I feel so out of place at work all the time because, like, the ladies at workplace and whatever, they'll be talking about stuff, and I'm like, yeah, and I'll go out fishing in my kayak, and they'll just kind of look at me like, like they just don't get it.
That's funny.
You'll be happy, Susie. I think we had 2 women in the seminar today.
Nice.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I think one was a girlfriend or a wife, and the other one was definitely a wife. But like definitely interested. Like it was cool. They were interacting, asking some questions.
Awesome.
So it was very cool. Very cool. I was happy to see that.
Nice.
I think that's the first time we've had women. I don't know.
Awesome.
I forget.
We had a couple in ours, but I think one was Nate's mom.
Okay.
I'm not sure though.
What were you doing with Nate's mom?
Giving a seminar.
Oh, all right. Just checking.
So, I've had some pretty good podcasts and everything before, but like this recent one that I had with Katie.
Yeah.
So we had it scheduled for Friday, right? So we got on, we started talking. 4 hours later, I'm not even kidding, we haven't even started recording. Like, I hadn't had a conversation like that with somebody in like a long time. So that was pretty awesome. So then we rescheduled for that Saturday and then recorded for a little while. But we still talked like a little bit before and a little bit after. So I was just like, this is awesome. Finally.
You got a new friend. That's
That's
cool.
right.
Yeah,
and she did pretty good at Bassmaster thing. I haven't actually looked back on there to see what she actually finally placed.
Last time I looked, she was like 24th.
I was gonna say she was in the 20s for her.
She was in the 20s, yeah.
Yeah, her and Alan Reed were. Alan Reed was the first guy out of the.
That's because wasn't he like 45th or something like that?
Yeah,
he
and it was
just
the top.
Missed it.
Yeah, the top 44.
How many is going to qualify for this?
I think they're going to have.
I think it's the 44 from this event, and then I think it's like the top 20 or something from
something like that. Yeah, so I think there's going to be like 100 or something like that for like the championship, right?
I don't know.
I still don't like that. That's too many.
100? 100's not bad.
Yeah, 100's like decent.
Yeah.
At least it gives people a shot.
Yeah, and it helps the prize pool.
I like Hobie Bass Open.
Yeah, I like that structure. That's a good structure.
Yeah.
50, but the payouts are huge.
Yeah.
You know.
I think KBF does the 10 real well. I really enjoyed following that.
The 10 is like the version of the Hobie.
Yeah, I enjoyed following that.
I agree. I think both of those events are pretty nostalgic, you know. Mm-hmm. And I think Bassmaster's trying to achieve that for next year. I mean, it's still young. It's first year, man, you know. So I'm sure they'll dial it in after this first year, and they'll really see where it's going to go, you know. But it was cool to see 200 and some people signed up for that first event.
233. That's a lot of kayakers, which is awesome.
Is that the most for like a single day tournament?
No.
I would almost bet it is. Because what would have been close? I know the KBF FLW Open, there was 105 or 6.
Yeah.
Oh, was there only that many?
Yep.
KBF FLW Cup didn't have.
They had 80 something. They had 80 something. Even the Trail Championship didn't have that much.
Yeah.
You know.
Huh. I don't know. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm trying to find her.
Oh, I haven't even looked at the leaderboards since they.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
I just watched the top 10. That's it. Oh, that reminds me. Did you see him mess up on the way in too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That-
I
that
kept
was
counting the
awkward.
guys on the stage, and I'm like, you got one
Wait a
too many.
second. Yeah, he called a name and nobody walked up. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Somebody made a mistake.
yeah, that dude was
no,
in
it
11th or
happens.
something. The first
Yeah.
guy they called.
Yeah, the from Pennsylvania or whatever. Yep. Why the heck can't I find her on here?
Now he can tell his grandkids, hey, they called me. They called my name on the Bassmaster stage.
I would have been pissed. Like, damn, I could have been up there.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that was a little awkward.
Yeah, that was odd. Again, a hiccup. It's one of those things. It's in the infancy stage. So, what are you gonna do?
I figured when you guys were saying how the awards were kind of plain, I'm sure they'll probably beef it up next time. They probably hearing that from all over.
Yeah. When is the next one?
I forget. They got a few.
It's at Lake Fork, right? Or I don't even remember.
Is Chickamauga the next one? Because that's in May. Well, there might be one before that, but let's type awards here. Can't I find her name?
Sounds like somebody's mic is crisping up a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
All good in the hood.
There was something else I was gonna say too. I can't remember what it was.
About the bass event?
No. I just can't remember. It was something to do with this weekend though. I just can't think of what it was.
Is there another tournament this weekend? No, right?
There was a KBF trail somewhere. Lake Roosevelt, wherever that is.
California?
I missed it. I didn't know about it until Chad posted it on Instagram.
Huh.
Mm.
I don't know where that is or anything.
I think the only ones really fishing are either California or Texas.
Probably.
Or somewhere in the southeast,
Yeah. My phone's about to die. I can't check. Oh, man.
I can look it up. Actually, it'll probably be on.
I'm on here on TourneyX. The next is Lake Fork on March 14th.
Huh.
Nice.
Next weekend.
Yep.
That's quick. Okay, so Lake Roosevelt is in Arizona, it looks like.
Yeah, so that's part of that California West Coast series.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Catherine Fields was posting that she was going out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I forget who won it.
Well, what good are you, bro?
I'm not good at all. I'm not on the reel down anymore.
You're gonna have to take over for Sam. DP.
Sam. Yeah. No, they were busy this weekend. So
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
the winner of this tournament was Chris Spencer.
I don't know that I've ever heard that name.
I haven't either, but I'm sitting here looking through all of these names. I don't know any of these names really. Lou McBee, I've heard that one. Huh.
What the heck?
What's our minutes at right now?
45.
I don't see Katie on that list at all. That's crazy.
Well, that's what I just looked for, and it shows that she got 0. But she had fish that were verified.
That's weird.
She may get in late to the ramp or something?
I don't know. And I know Ryan had a big hourly fish. He had like 21 and some odd quarter fish. Because
Holy
I'd seen
crap.
that. Yeah, he had a big fish, but then it's gone.
Huh. Have to ask him about that.
I know. This is interesting. Huh. I don't know. I know that they had some really bad weather too, like storms and chocolate milk water and just awfulness.
I saw some videos of some guys fighting current. I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. So my first tournament's coming up for the season. It's a charity tournament, March 21st.
Ooh.
But it's like a radius tournament. You can fish within so many miles.
Nice.
Who's that through?
Strictly Sail, Cincinnati Fishing Trail.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Sean,
I
are
don't-
you going to be at the NC?
What's that?
Are you going to be at the NC?
What is the NC?
The National Championship.
No, probably not.
You just showed your true newbie colors, my man.
Sorry. I've signed up for the Kayak Anglers of Central PA the last 3 years. I have yet to fish a tournament. I keep.
Tournament.
I'm gonna try it this year, but I just never thought I was good enough. But the guys from the Heroes on the Water chapter that I've been helping out with, they're like, just come out. It doesn't matter how good you are,
Yeah.
Just give it a try.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna take me under their wing this year and get me out there. So.
Dude, those local trails are worth it, man. Because even if you don't do well, you still get like raffle prizes and all this stuff.
That's
Yeah.
what I saw. Yeah.
Well,
And
not
yeah,
only that, but that's where you meet
Hang
fishing
out with
buddies,
everybody.
man. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna give it a try this year. So.
Yeah, I think you'll have fun. I did it last year was my first year, and I had fun. So I'm not ready for that national stage or anything, but probably never will be. It's all good.
Right.
I'm going
Right.
opposite this year. I'm fishing club level this year. I'll do some national stuff, don't get me wrong, but
Central
Susie
Trail?
told me if I didn't show up to every event, she was going to freaking drill holes in my boat.
Are you able to see how many people picked you on their fantasy?
I don't
Team.
know, but if anybody picked me, they're screwed.
I did.
Okay,
Shut up.
so
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Oh, so now the pressure's on.
I said, I'm picking him because he picked me.
I didn't pick anybody.
You did pick me.
so where are you guys doing this whole fantasy fishing thing? Or how are you?
You go to Drew Gregory's website. It's too late now. You had to get done by third.
I didn't
Oh,
pick
did
anybody.
you?
That.
Huh?
Are you on that list?
I don't
Who,
know.
me?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
Brad Hicks.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm saying I picked you because you picked me to be on Paddle and Fin.
There you go.
Oh.
I'm returning the favor. I love you.
Yeah, well, sorry, bro, but your score is going to be pretty horrible.
Dude, I haven't even looked.
I'm probably going to fish the Pro Tour in Wisconsin, and I may fish the Pro Tour at Kentucky Lake.
That's a far
And then, what?
Isn't that a far drive for you?
Kentucky Lake's only 6.5 hours.
Oh, dang.
And then I might, a lot of guys have been asking me to come down to fish the Bloomington in Indiana. That's on the
yeah.
trail.
What
And
lake is
then, Lake Bloomington.
No, I thought it was called something else.
No, I'm
Lake
pretty
Monroe.
sure. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I
You're right.
I might go to that.
What?
Yeah.
You want to snuggle in the trailer?
Sure, somebody has to replace Jay, right?
I don't know, dude. We were talking about it today, dude. Jay snores quite a bit. Like, my goal is always to fall asleep before Jay, because if not, this is what you listen to.
Called earplugs.
Holy crap, dude.
That's funny.
Bro, you need like one of those. What are those machines? Sleep apnea
CPAP.
machine?
Oh, yeah.
That's what Jay needs.
Oh, that's July 18th. Man.
Which one?
Ooh,
The Lake Monroe in Bloomington, Indiana.
That's right.
Dang it.
Man,
That's why I wasn't gonna fish that one.
that part of Indiana is gorgeous, man.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
Totally.
I love it.
Well,
That's,
I know.
Alan Reed's backyard, isn't it?
Whose?
Alan Reed.
Yeah, I think so. I know I was talking to Brock Hall. He lives in that southern part of Indiana, and it looks like he was showing me an area. I think it's like all state park lands or something, but it's almost like Mazonia, where it's a bunch of like strip mines and stuff like that. Small, like, I don't know, just weird lakes. But he said that some of them are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was out there like 2 months ago with my wife, Brown County.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Brown County with your wife's balls in your jaws?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was awesome. I enjoyed it. That was a good time.
That's like Amish country down there, ain't it?
I think it's called Yellowwood State Forest or something. What we stayed in. So it was cool.
Did you rent a cabin or something?
Yeah. Well, it was a B&B, but they had like a row of cabins.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It had the cabin feel to it.
Nice.
Yep.
I dig it.
I wonder when East and West Harbor is, because I think it's around that time too. So that if that
in July.
Yeah, I might have to pick in between those two lakes.
They shouldn't overlap.
No, it might be back-to-back weekends.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not doing a ton of national stuff.
Did you get tired of it?
Yes and no.
A lot of money, man.
Yeah. Susie, that was a very evil laugh. That was a very evil laugh. I'm almost scared. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is.
Have you signed up for the NC yet?
No.
You're not going, are you?
I don't know.
It's gonna be like $600 now.
Yeah, it's either 500 or 600, something like that.
Yeah, I'd be like, nope, not doing it.
I don't know. I'm flying by the seat of my pants this year. Last year I structured everything out and I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do, which kind of sucked. But I don't know. Like, I didn't fish any club level events. I was going to fish the first one, but that was because it started before all the national stuff. And then I did all the national stuff, and it just burnt me out, man. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas this year, you know, KBL is pretty much done by the end of June, except for, like, the championship, which is nice. So that leaves, like, the rest of the summer open. I'm liking that schedule. Like, I was super stoked about that when I saw it, because I kind of questioned signing up for KBL this year, but then I saw like they just slammed out all the season like the beginning part of the year, and it left the summer open, and that really interested me because that would allow me to do, you know, some of the other stuff that's out there. So I don't know. But I think KBL is going to be fun. They're fishing some pretty unique bodies of water that I like, that fit my fishing style. And there's a couple in there that I haven't fished, so it'll be interesting. You know, I'm sure Susie's going to DQ all my fish, but like, Susie's the judge.
Hey,
Stay on her good side.
She judged our fish at the meetup in Ohio, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Yep.
That was a funny story. Jay Randall like sat there and looked at his phone and contemplated calling Susie. Because like Susie had just like told us like she was a little frustrated with the one other club. She was judging this and that, and like, you know, people just expect me to do things and like this and that. I'm like, Jay, just call her. I'm sure it'll be fine. Susie will be more than happy. So Jay calls her, hey, Susie, like, we're having this meetup, doing this thing. Would you mind judging the fish? She's like, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds fun. No problem, this and that. Jay's like, that went way better than I thought it was. He was like freaking out. He thought Susie was going to bite his head off.
Heck no.
I was like, oh, this is funny.
I'm like the easiest and like most laid back person ever. I really am.
The best was early in the morning, Susie calls me and she's like, so, Jason Ricketts didn't have his identifier in his photo. So like,
And none of he didn't have him in any of them?
it was in his first fish.
Fish, yeah.
His first fish. He didn't have his identifier. She's like, so are you gonna let this slide? Should I DQ his fish? I'm like, DQ that motherfucker, right? I'm like, I'll call him. I'll let him know. I'm like, we ain't bending no rules for Ricketts. Hell no. So I called him and I was like, hey, bro, you forgot your identifier. He's like, oh, son of a bitch. You know, getting all pissed off. He's like, damn, dude. He's like, because I think he was fishing something else. Wasn't there another, like CKT had a tournament or something
That
going
was
on?
Buckeye Bass.
Yeah, I think he was fishing that too, wasn't he?
Yeah, him and Durbin.
Yeah, so I think he was like, he got the picture with that one, but for ours, he didn't have the identifier, and that's what screwed him.
Well,
So-
Durbin got screwed during that Buddy Bass tournament because you know how Facebook only shows a little bit of like a picture if you don't click on it? Well,
Yeah.
Durbin didn't click on it, and all he saw was the letters BB in the right-hand corner where the...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, he wrote BB in there. He didn't have the code at the bottom, and they disqualified all his fish. And he would have like placed in the money.
Yeah.
He was mad. I was like, well... it
I
is what it
remember
is.
that. Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, have your identifier fully in the picture, except for KBF. Excuse me.
is that a jab at Eric Jackson?
I'm not mentioning any names. It's not really against that, but it's against the people who judged and let that go.
Yeah.
That's what that's against.
Yeah.
I see both sides of that story. Because it was like a unique identifier, and part of it was in the picture. It's kind of hard to fake that. But at the same time, a rule's a rule. Identifier's got to be in the photo. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not a tournament judge. I'm not a tournament director. I got no say.
Yep, I don't know anything. Hey, we got our special guest in here.
Holy shit!
I'm here! After hours. Oh my god. Dude, I'm
Look,
so
who
excited.
look who it fucking is.
Holy crap.
We're
Josh
paddling in the Darkwaters right now.
motherfucking Smith.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about random bullshit.
You know, like when you first guys like came up with this whole idea of like what is it, after hours. There's two things I think about, right? Like when I was a kid, it was like Nickelodeon. You had like the after hours, and you'd be like, the one where they told ghost stories. What was it? Whatever. The kids said on the ghost fire told ghost story. It was that.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, the goosebump shit, or don't be afraid of the dark. That
Yeah.
was-
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you could watch that, but if you stayed up late into like the later after hours, Showtime has some crazy shit that came on too, like Red Shoe Diaries and things like that. So a lot of crazy stuff happens in the after hours, right?
Yeah.
This is true. This
I'm
is
fired,
true.
dude. I mean, I've had a few beers, so.
Oh, that's all right. I've had a
Susie's been
few.
drinking.
Susie's drinking tequila. We're good.
Susie, crazy.
It's been a rough week, I'll just say that. So,
Well, when do you come on the dark waters, Susie?
whenever.
All right, we're gonna make that happen.
Yes.
We'll
Josh,
start right now. We'll just be the audience. Let's go.
All right, so I had to make my present. I'm sorry, like I ended up doing another podcast with some guy, and I was glad you guys are still up and rock and rolling. So
You gonna give us the inside scoop? Who were you chatting with?
Frankie Provolone from the Slay Nation.
Oh yeah.
I love that dude's energy, man.
Yeah, like he gets people fired up, man, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
He's a character.
Oh yeah.
Josh,
love
have you met Noob 2.0 here?
Oh man, where's the other noob at? I'm sorry, noob number 2. What's up?
Sean Lavery.
Noob number
Nice to
1
meet you, brother.
is I don't know, whistling somewhere in a corner.
I wanted to talk to the guy. I wanted to. There's some things I want to talk about with him.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah,
Come on our show again, man.
Oh no, I'm not good to be on that show. You'll have 3 noobs. We'll get absolutely nowhere.
Oh, that's funny. So, well, you just you were fishing at what, Santee Cooper, man? How'd that go?
Man.
That good, huh?
Well, it sucks, man. Because the water has just started to open up here, so I'll get my kayak in next week. So when I went down to the Santee Cooper, like I had like the thing is like I put my kayak up like in November. I haven't touched it since. So when I got down there, I got down there like 7:30 on Thursday morning. That was the first time I was in a kayak in months, and like everything we do as a kayak angler, like we have like these battle drills, these things that we do to, like if you don't follow them, everything goes to shit.
Right.
Whether it's measuring a fish or how you have things stored. Like if you don't have your system in place and you're not efficient, everything goes to shit. And that's exactly what happened because it was a really bad windy day. I was getting blown to these awesome Cyber Spring where like bass are supposed to be hanging out with. They weren't there, but what happened was the wind blew me into them. My rods were getting stuck.
Yeah, dude.
Backlash to my my bait casters. Just a whole mess, and it's just like I was not ready to even be in the water yet. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
And so from that on, that set the tone. The weather was bad. Couldn't find a pattern. The rain, the water levels were off, and the bass fish down the south, they might be big and they might be violent, but like they're pussies when it comes to cold. They go, they disappear. This is after hours, right? But like they didn't tolerate changes in the weather like the fish up here, like up north, that they're used to that cold shit. The fish up here are they might not be the biggest or the strongest, but like goddamn it, they're survivors. And so it was just a hard time. The water was chocolate milk. I think only 6 people caught a limit out of the 150 people that were there.
Yeah, it seemed like it was rough for everybody, man.
Yeah, it was bad. But I think the whole Southeast has been like that this year. All the tournaments, people struggled at Seminole. Even the guys who did the 10 and the Invitational, like they did. It wasn't like they went down there and had like this awesome spring break down south catching big lunkers. Like a lot of them just had to rely on like just experience and just the things that you accumulate over the years. And I don't have that kind of skill set yet, or that kind of understanding of the of fish and how to find them like that. So it was there's a lot of things I got to learn to be able to compete at some of these higher levels that these guys are. Like I said, some of these guys, they got 5 bites and 5 fish. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, it was the same at the bass event too. I forget, there was the one guy that was up in the top 10. He said he caught 6 fish, and another guy caught 5 fish all day. Yeah. And then there was 2 guys that were hammering them. But I mean,
40 plus fish. That one guy said. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
But I think like during these cold fronts, isn't that what's going to be? Like when you get these cold fronts, these fish school up. Like the one person that finds them finds all of them, and the rest of us are just lost in the lake, trying to find them. Because that's what they do. They school up and they hang out and they keep each other warm and tell each other stories or whatever those they do down there. But,
dude, did you just see this guy try to throw this buzzbait at me? Like, what the hell, man?
It's cold down there. Nobody wants a buzzbait.
Is it different down there when the water rises? Like, I know when the water rises here in Ohio, those fish push up to shore underneath cover.
I think so. Because the people that did catch fish, like I was down there with like Derek Brundle and like a lot of the Northeast guys, and when we get back to the fish house, they were catching them shallow, off of like a crankbait, and they would find whatever vegetation they could because that lake is like barren, but there are some areas, and that's where they kind of found them at. So I think they weren't moving up to like pre-spawn or anything, but I think the flood like moved them up, and that's if you're able to find where they were like just hanging out with. What I really think happened was that you had a storm, like it was storming bad before the tournament started. You had the cold fronts and obviously the flooding. And not only that, but they're releasing the water from Marion into the other lake. You know, they're just changing levels of the water.
Yeah.
And I think what happens like in a place like that is like I was trying to describe. It's like the fish have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
They don't know. Like they're getting beat up by everything. So, you know, if they don't know what they're doing, we don't know what they're doing. And so I think that people were just catching them in these random spots. And I think you're right. I think the water levels were just pushing them in weird areas that that wouldn't normally be. Because, you know, I talked to people who fish there like their whole lives, and they're like, yeah, this is a really odd time, especially this time of the year. You know, if the water was like 5 degrees warmer, they said that we would have had, it would have been incredible fishing. But that's part of the sport, right? Like, I mean, if you want to be a great angler, if you want to be one of these big dogs, like you got to know how to like fish in like those shitty conditions. I mean, that's what separates them, because everyone loves the pre-spawn to go out, you know, a nice day on a pre-spawn. We go out there and we catch 20 fish, but can you catch 20 fish when it's an absolute shit day? Because the tournament's still going to happen. They're not going to stop a tournament just because you go out there and the conditions aren't what you want them to be. So you know, you get out there and you do your best. But if you don't have the experience or the knowledge or, you know, what to do on shitty days like that, you're not going to go that far with this sport. That's why guys like Casey Reed and, you know, Kim Wood and those guys, you know, are consistently placed in 10. Especially, like, I know, like, those guys in particularly because, you know, I fished Lake Anna with them. That was a horrible event. I fished in New Hampshire. That was a horrible event. But all those guys still, like, place top 10 because they know what to do when shit gets tough.
Yeah.
It's weird because if you go the opposite way, you got, like, bluebird sky days and stuff like that. And the fishing, even on that side, is, like, hard at times. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to find that middle. Yeah. You got to find that middle.
One of the things I think too, like being up here in the Northeast, like the way up Northeast, like especially New York, I think I'm just spoiled. I don't think our fish is as pressured as they are down in the South. You know, I mean, those guys literally get like 4 months off to recuperate, and you know, but I think the fish down South are just highly pressured. I've never like really heard of anyone or any tournament since I've been in the tournament scene, like the South just being fire, you know. But you hear like Lake Erie, people will talk days about like how great those tournaments. Like, I mean, that tournament, those tournaments like at Lake Erie or the, you know, East West Harbor, that changes people's lives. You know, like the fishing that people do up there. I think the South, like the lakes are just pressured, and then you add in like, you know, the weather conditions, especially in February or March. I think I think it's tough fishing in the South. I think even though they have the biggest and the best, you know, whatever fish in the world, I think they're highly pressured, and when you go down there, you better be skilled if you want to do right. You know, and I think it's like one of the things I learned when I was down there. Like, I think I'm just spoiled here in the Northeast. Like, the fish just aren't as pressured as they are down there. You look at like some of those lakes, like the Santee. There's tournaments there like almost every weekend. It seems like. It's, you know, like Gunderson, all those places. Like those places are famous for tournaments. You know, not Northeast. Like we get maybe like 1 or 2 big ones a year. You know, and so I think that has a lot to do with it too.
You guys ever wonder why like Dale Hollow doesn't have more tournaments?
I don't know. I don't know why they don't have more tournaments anywhere. Like, yeah, one of the things that I think they do with tournaments, like they always want to chase the pre-spawn, right? That's kind of what they chase the spawn and pre-spawn. That's why you have tournaments starting so early down south. And I don't know why they don't start moving, especially in the kayak community, because like the Northeast was one of the biggest growing regions last year. Why they don't, you know, make some of the big, like, you look at like the Hobie events and stuff like that. They don't have a lot of them like in like the Northeast. Like they have them like, I think Erie is the far east as they'll go, or Northeast they'll go. But you know, like Lake Oneida, Lake George, there's a few lakes in Maine and Massachusetts.
That you guys got Lake Champlain too.
Like Champlain, like all these big fisheries. But and the crazy thing about it, like our pre-spawn doesn't start until like late May. Yeah, I think June.
That's crazy, dude.
June is like when they actually start spawning. I think. June. I think the third week of June is the only time. Like that's when you can actually catch a limit with like smallmouth or bass in general. So like early summer, like June, like why aren't they having like these bigger tournaments up here to you know, for these bigger organizations? I don't get it. Like we got some of the best fishing up here. I mean, have you ever caught a smallmouth in upstate New York? They're huge.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to.
Right.
When is your guys spawn in Illinois?
It varies. It depends. depends on the temperatures. Susie
Yeah.
gets spawned before we do up here, but I know fishing the Madison event last year,
Gosh,
Dylan
it
won
was-
that, and that was end
that
of
was
June.
Yeah, because we were so
Wow.
flooded out. Everywhere was so flooded out last year. It seemed like things were delayed.
Well, and it stayed cold forever, and
Yes.
Dylan was catching smallmouth off of
Oh my
beds.
God, he was hammering them on the beds. Yeah.
Seems like river smallmouth here in Ohio spawn around April, late April. Largemouth probably too in Ohio.
Yeah, you guys get warmer than we do up here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
'Cause you guys are more south of me than anything,
Yeah.
I don't
That's
even know
great.
why Ohio is considered part of the Northeast.
Yeah. I wondered that when they came out with it. I thought they'd be central.
Ohio's like that redheaded stepchild in between the Midwest and the Northeast. They're just like, I don't want it, you take it. No, you take it. It's like that in between state.
It really is.
Yep.
They don't realize like how like hard it is like when you break down like the Northeast. I don't think they realize like how far northeast the Northeast really goes. When you're looking at places like Maine, like
Crazy.
that's like it's like a day trip for them to get to like Ohio.
Oh my gosh.
So I
It's
don't know
2
how.
days just get to Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like
I
me,
used to live out there. I know.
like me and you talked on our episode I did with you. I'm like 11 hours from you.
yeah, and like exactly. And so I don't know why it's even part of it, but like I said, I think things are changing, especially as you see guys like Derek Brundle and Kim Wood, who are from the actual Northeast, going down there and placing well at these tournaments. And I think it's going to change. I think you'll start seeing more tournaments up there in the near future, especially the next season, I would think.
I'd like to see them break down the Central and the Northeast a little bit. Put like Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Indiana.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why wouldn't they do that? It'd
Were
be-
you
Kind of
at-
like what
are
they
you
did
up-
with Mid-Atlantic.
Are you up by Syracuse?
Me? I'm in Syracuse.
Oh, you're in Syracuse.
I'm about 30 minutes north of Syracuse. If you look on the map, if you go up, you find Lake Oneida. I'm like 5 miles just north of Lake Oneida, like really close to like Highway 81.
It's 11 and a half hours from me.
Yeah, so you should definitely make the trip.
So you're cutting
Yeah.
you're cutting across like a bunch of states. I have to go up and then across.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go through Ohio to get to New York, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
but you're probably going like the northern part of Ohio.
Yeah. Yep, northern
I have to
part
go
of
north
Ohio.
and then east.
Yeah.
He wants us to have a paddle and fin meetup out there.
We're
Yeah, I want
doing
you
it
guys to
at
come- I want you-
Josh's house.
How do I say it? Come paddle in the dark waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a show, dude. We can make video content.
Sean likes it. He's like, New York, that's the next state over. I'm in, bro.
Yep.
Where you
Right
at,
about.
Sean?
York, PA. So probably about 12 hours from there. It takes me. We have a hunting cabin up northern PA, so it takes me about 4.5 hours to get to northern PA. So I bet you I'd be another maybe
You said-
10
you said
hour.
York, PA, right?
Yeah.
That's not far, dude. I drove through it on the way home. It's about 5-6 hours away from Syracuse, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It was on the last leg.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
There's no reason why you shouldn't come hang out with me.
He
All right,
I mean, you
lives
don't
near
know.
the
You don't know me. That's probably a reason why you shouldn't. But
Hey, that's all right. Hey, that's the best way to get to know you, right?
yeah.
he
stay
lives
in my
near the
house.
Susquehanna.
Got a basement. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives near the Susquehanna.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my next place to go fish, man. But I don't know shit about rivers though. So
Neither do I. Come down. We'll crash it together.
When is that tournament?
June 27th.
That's gonna be after the spawn, isn't it?
On the river.
Yeah.
It's a good time too, though.
Yeah.
They get hungry.
Like for 2 weeks after the spawn, smallmouth like tend to be really picky. At least on my river. It seems like they're like extremely tired, from fighting off everything. But
Yeah,
it could be
true.
tough.
But that's it. That makes them want to eat though.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So what's
I'd
up?
probably be hitting those calm areas at that time of the year. I don't think they'll be in the fast-moving water yet.
Well, I just gotta learn because it's different. Like I think I told you, like we have rivers up here, but they're deep rivers. Like there's not a lot of break. Like they're just
Kind of like the Ohio River.
Yeah, they're just bodies of water just emptying out to the Great Lake. Like they're not like shallow at all. Like they stay about 15 to 30 feet deep in most of them. You find shallow water in like the obviously the tributaries and like the creeks around it, and that's where you find most of your fish. But it's not like, so I guess when I fish the rivers up here, I'm not really fishing the river. I'm going off the river to try to find those shallow areas or those transitional areas where it goes deep to shallow. The same way you would fish a lake, pretty much.
Yeah, dude, lake smallmouth are like they're hard to catch, man.
They're different too.
They're always deep. They're always deep.
Always deep, but like one thing that I've learned like up in upstate New York is that there's no same smallmouth. You know, like the smallmouth you would find in our big rivers here, aren't the same as the smallmouth you find in our lakes. They even look different, and then it even differs from like lake to lake depending on the kind of lakes that we got. So many different kind of lakes up here. We got the glacier lakes that are super deep. We got like Oneida, which isn't as deep of a lake, but it's connected to the rivers, and so we have the smallmouth that have moved in there. And they're not like, I mean, it's different. Like smallmouth is a different breed up here. I think it's just.
I believe it, dude.
Yeah, like I mean, we got a smallmouth that competes for a size of a largemouth up here. It's crazy. A 22 inch. Yeah, a 22-inch smallmouth. It's nuts.
That's
you look
awesome,
tired,
dude.
Susie.
A little bit.
I'm still chasing that 20 here in Ohio, dude. I got close last year, but didn't break it.
Fuck you. I'm sorry, I got a dog. He's a wolf, and he's sneaking up on people.
Sean, the Susquehanna's pretty shallow, isn't it? For the most part.
It is. Yeah, they always say it's a mile wide and a foot deep, but it especially by me, it is, and that's why initially I was a little concerned about going with a Hobie because I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to pedal anywhere, but. When I had it out, it wasn't too bad, but there's definitely. And last year when it got so hot, it was really low. There was a lot of places I had to just drag my Kusa through till I could get to where I could paddle again.
Yeah. What's the deepest spot you found?
There's they call it like Lake Clark. That has like 15, 20 feet. That has a pretty good channel where they do a lot of the water skiing and stuff behind the boats and stuff, but
okay.
But
it's like a reservoir type.
Kind of, yeah, and then we have a dam not too far from us that it gets pretty deep right by the dam. But the jet skiers and stuff don't like it when you're just sitting in the channel fishing. They tend to get cranky. So
of course,
yeah.
They do. Yeah, I think my local river here is. The deepest I've seen is probably like 18 feet, maybe 16 feet, something like that.
I think the deepest I saw on my depth finder was 15, maybe 17. Yeah. But it's definitely that's the exception, not the rule. It's regularly 4 feet. I can see the bottom pretty much everywhere I'm fishing. So.
Yeah, but our rivers here are weird. Brian knows. I mean, one minute you're going through like a scenic forest, the next minute you're in like an urban neighborhood, and it's just weird. It's weird.
We got some areas like that out here too.
Yeah, but is it the Great Miami River?
No, it's the Great Kishwaukee River.
Brian caught like a nice 19-incher when he was out here.
Yeah, it was like 18, 19. Yeah, it was 19. 19 and a half.
I was like, dang, you need to show me that spot.
I did. I told you right where it was. You guys floated right past it and left it for me. That was your fault, man, not mine. I mean, I appreciate it, dude, because I caught the biggest fish of the day, so you motherfuckers still owe me an ice cream cone. Just saying. I mean, that's the deal.
Me and you were the only one that caught a fish that day, I think.
I caught more than one that day.
Yeah, you caught a couple.
2 or 3. Yeah.
I caught the biggest one I caught was 17 and a half.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, you took the picture.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool because like there was a Clearwater Creek coming in and the water was real muddy. So I threw right on that line with the mud line right there. Caught it on that black and blue chatterbait.
Yep.
That was cool.
I think I got mine all on a Ned rig.
Yeah, they love that Ned rig in the river.
I told you boys I'd show you how to use that damn thing, you know. But what are you gonna do,
Are you doing any tournaments this year, Brian?
You
dude?
missed it.
You came late
Did I
in
miss
the
it?
conversation, bro.
All right. Well, damn.
Yeah, I'm doing some. I'm fishing a lot of club shit, and then I'll do a few national events. I don't know. I'm leaving it open, you know.
Let me ask you this. I'm not sure what you guys all talked about, so I'll ask. Did any of you guys watch like the Bassmaster? Like everyone watched the stage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts?
We talked about it.
I was just talking to Frankie about it. Like that was some of the most boringest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
Frankie went off on it. He was talking about the announcer, the guy that was talking.
Yeah.
Like I was telling him, it reminded me of like winning a spelling bee. Like here, John Smith placed second place in the spelling bee. It's like, like, I mean, like, there was like some point. I guess the guy asked him, the guy was thinking of sponsors. Like, oh, you guys got sponsors? It's like, who are you, dude? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
It pissed me. I think it kind of bothers me because I never really cared about walking the stage. But that's not saying if I won, I wouldn't do fucking cartwheels and back handsprings on it.
I want to see that shit. You better win
Dude,
that shit, bro.
when I win, it's bad. I'm a horrible winner. But like it sucks that some of those guys, when they were kids, they wanted to walk the stage. They wanted to become professional anglers. They wanted to walk the stage. Life kicked them in the dick. They end up having to get real jobs, and now they got a second chance to live their dream. And there was just like there's like much effort put into it. And the thing is, like, it's 50 years old. They know what they're doing.
Right.
So I don't know why it wasn't taken more seriously. I'm not saying that next one's not gonna be better. I mean, everything's a learning curve. But as far as like my first impression was just like, if it wasn't for like the 20, 30 kayak anglers who were there, I don't even know if there'd be an applause. Like, it was just a very quiet, very boring, dry, event. No hype. There's no hype.
Yeah, it almost made it seem like the kayak event was a novelty item. Like it was just a little sideshow, and it was pretty sad, man, because there was a lot of freaking hype about this event, and not only that, but the anglers showed out for it. Yeah. And then to have that kind of ending to it, I think was kind of lame, dude. I think they shot themselves in the foot with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was there, I'm sure the environment and the energy might have been slightly higher or a little bit better. But it's like, at the same time, man, like you said, as fishermen and fisherwomen, we all, dream of that aspect of being in that big spotlight and walking across the stage. And to be quite honest, I mean, you look at Hobie or KBF, they both do way better with their championships on talking to their guys and knowing their shit. I think if you really look at it, you got a guy that's been looking at and announcing the big bass boat world shit for however long, and he doesn't know shit about kayak fishing. If they would have got somebody, like for instance, Chad Hoover, love him or hate him, but at least that guy does a great job at talking to the anglers and knows the sport and things like that. He could have hyped that way better up. And
even someone like Scott, right? When you watch,
I was going to just say
Scott do the 10, like he rocked that shit. I mean, Scott does when he does. He's passionate. He understands the sport. He loves the anglers. I mean, it's that's the kind of person you want. Yeah. You think because like Bassmaster is so old, and you got some of these old guys and the old money, and that they're just kind of outdated. Like because these days, like we're like the Mike Iaconelli days. That's people who are motivated, people who are fired up, people who are screaming, hollering. Doing cartwheels or whatever. I mean, like that's the kind of people we are, I think now. And I think sometimes, like old companies like that, they want to keep things old fashioned, but that old fashioned don't sell shit no more. Like we want lights, we want firecrackers, we want, we want especially these anglers who have, a lot of these guys have busted their ass off for like 6 years. Like they've been in this thing since the beginning. Even before there wasn't a KBF trail. Even before there was, when it was just like Hobie World and like, whatever it was, like these people who have just like, who have put years and years and years trying to build this stuff and like, and they never like thinking about like walking the stage, the Bassmasters. They still follow the Bassmasters through all these years, and it was always something they wanted to do. And finally, when it came up here, they picked the oldest, boringest person to come on the stage.
Yeah, right.
And the only people really pay attention to were, and that's what's cool about our sport is that like the fans are the competitors. You know what I mean? And so that was all that made it to me like what it was, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I think the guy that won, didn't he say he's been kayak fishing for 15 years?
He looked like he did.
Was it him? Yeah. I mean, imagine work that hard all that time, and then you finally get there, and it's just like, oh yeah, how you doing? All right, move on.
I think like the kayak scene is like it's been fighting to be legitimized by anglers in general. You know what I mean? It's literally like KBF is 5 years into it, and there was stuff going on way before that. So I mean, it's been like it's been tough for them, like trying to prove that like kayak is something for people to be interested in. Kayak, has legitimate anglers.
Right.
Like someone like Russ Snyder, who hasn't placed anything less than the top 10 in like the last 20 events that he attended. So it's just we got some of the best anglers in the world, and like Bassmaster should have capitalized on that.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Oh.
Well, that's all right. I mean, it leaves room for the other two to really shine right now. You know what I mean?
They are. I think KBF and Hobie are doing a phenomenal job. Everyone that all the people that are involved in Hobie and KBF, they're all kayak anglers.
Yeah.
They love the sport. They love the people. And not only that, they've been. You look at someone like Chad Hoover. How long has he probably known someone like Brad Case or was it Jamie? Whatever.
Jamie Broad.
All those guys. Like he's known them for years.
Right.
There's relationships there, and people need to, Chad Hoover takes a lot of shit, but he's been involved in this for a while, and he knows the people, he knows kayak fishing, and he should be taking a little more serious about it.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the elephant in the room?
I don't know what the elephant is.
The fact that Hobie still hasn't made a statement about Bengate 2020.
Jesus Christ.
They haven't made a statement?
No.
I thought they did.
I think the only thing they did was
make the
rules
change about the
That was it.
I thought they changed the thing. I thought that was the statement.
That pretty much was their statement.
Yeah, I don't think there was nothing. To be honest with you, I don't think they can make a statement because technically, and I was talking to David Cruz about it on my last podcast with him. Look, whatever you want to think, like we all do our best to get whatever quarter inch we can get out of a fish.
Yeah.
And technically, I don't think and I'm not saying morally, I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying technically, he didn't break any rules.
I agree.
So I don't think Hobie needs to say anything. I think Hobie did the best. I think the best thing might just say, "Hey, no more fucking hog troughs. Everyone use a catch board."
Here's the thing, too. You gotta tell me this. So anybody and everybody that's ever used a hog trough knows the damn thing bends, and it can bend in a way that helps you out. And you can't tell me that Chad Hoover, AJ McCorder, whoever the hell's running Bass, and everybody else didn't know this. And then finally a photograph surfaces, and now all of a sudden it's the biggest talk of the town. Are you freaking kidding me?
Well, I'll tell you so much. I've been following.
Susie's like, shut the hell up.
I've been following Kate.
No, it's more of stuff has been going on.
Yeah.
But it only came to surface because of who it was.
I agree.
Anybody else, it would have been just whatever,
Right, but because it was Ron Champion, someone who's done a lot in the sport, someone who's pretty much led the way for kayak anglers as far as dealing with sponsors and and building your living that other part of being a professional angler, which isn't about the fishing, it's about the other part of it.
Right.
That's what made it big. But
Right.
Here's the funny thing I saw, coming from legitimate anglers who have been known to call people out on their shit, the KBN, those guys are savages. They've called many people out for cheating.
Right.
And they've done a lot of changes in the sport just because of the open format they have, and they don't censor people, and they let people talk shit and get things off their chest. The people who are really respected on it didn't really say much either, and I think the reason is because we all know that we do if there's not a hard rule, we're gonna do whatever we take to make sure we make that fish big as fuck. You know what I mean? Like we squeeze the tail, we squeeze the like we do everything we can. You know, it's not like we just put the fish on there and say, okay, that's what we got, and we take a picture of it. No, we do this. We do make sure the lighting is we do everything I can to get like some kind of advantage. You can't fault someone if the rule's not in place, or there's not something in place that makes that not right. And so they've had to change the rule. Like you can't use a hot drive, you can't bend the catch boarded. And I'm not saying like more like look, I don't know, it's competition. Like we all do things that I would guess would be like in any sport I've ever been in. We all do things. If we can get away with it, we'll get away with it. And that's why you had these, they create these rules so you don't, because all we want to do is win.
Unwritten rules in baseball. That's what comes to mind.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's a shitty situation, and it was a bad thing for sport. I think the biggest part to me was the way people handled it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, look, if you had a problem with it, bring it to the focus. But it got to the point where people were just like bad mouthing each other and making these homophobic.
It got out of control.
And it's just like enough of that shit. Like I mean.
And then people would just bring it up again day after day after day, and it was just like, all right, guys, just kill it. Like, come on now.
Right.
I do have a question though. So I've been seeing a lot of guys in the South taking pictures of their fish with the fish's mouth open. Is that allowed in some tournaments down south?
I saw that a few times too. I didn't know what that meant. I don't know. Maybe it was just an Instagram picture, or if it was just an actual picture they took for the submission. But I have seen people take a lot of pictures of that, so I don't know what it means.
I believe that there are some tournaments down south in Texas that have modified rules that don't deduct for open mouth, if I remember correctly.
Well,
every club's run different. Some of them let you still use fish grips on them and whatnot. So it just depends on the club and the circuit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Interesting. I've been seeing that a lot lately. I think Dan. I'm gonna have to ask Dan because I think he posted one.
He might know too. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask him.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think I forget where I saw it, but I know Duke had brought that up, like in muskie tournaments and stuff. Like basically, it's anything goes when you measure those fish, like mouth open, tail pinch, stuff like that. And it leaves room for less disqualifications and less bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't know. When he said that, I was like, that kind of makes sense, I don't know. You guys got any thoughts on that? Like mouth open versus closed versus whatever?
I don't
know if it makes a big deal or not.
Well, I mean,
I've never compared.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, I think it makes a difference. But what I don't understand about it is it like if everyone's doing it, like let's say if everyone's allowed to take a picture with a fish with its mouth open, why is it a big deal? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those rules that don't make sense to me. It's just like, well, if everyone's allowed to do it, then who gives a shit? So you're telling me like if you close the mouth, it takes away an inch? Well, I mean, if we're all allowed to have, it's like steroids. If everyone's allowed to use steroids, what's the fucking big deal? The only reason it's considered cheating is because we've outlawed steroids because for whatever reason, and that's the reason why steroids are bad. If steroids were legal, it would be okay. But because they're not, so I don't know why you make certain rules. And granted, I'm not saying people should be doing steroids. There's a lot of health problems. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand like the mouth thing. Like if everyone's allowed to have the mouth open because it gives an inch or a quarter inch or something like that, if everyone's allowed to do it, what's the big problem? I don't know like what the real reason for that rule is. And I mean,
Susie, do you know the do you know the difference in mouth open? Like, is it quarter inch, half inch?
I mean, it really depends on the fish. Like sometimes you'll get fish and like largies, they open their mouths nice and big. It can push them back, a full inch sometimes, sometimes bigger. It is, yeah. But then like sometimes you'll get fish that just like smallies, they open their mouths and you only maybe get a half inch. And then you might get a fish with a deformed mouth and it doesn't matter if it's open or closed. It's, still the same. So it varies fish to fish, but it does and can make a difference.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know why the rule is really set. Like if everyone's allowed to do it and we can all benefit a quarter of an inch from it, then I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what closing the mouth actually does besides, make my fish smaller. So I don't know. I don't know who makes these rules. Some of them I agree with. Some of them like, well, I don't, whatever. We just play by the rule set that we agreed to play with.
I wish that there was more uniform laws straight across the board. Like I feel like it would make things a lot easier, especially for like a newbie coming in. It's like, okay, my club allows 8-inch fish, whereas KBF, you got to have a 12-inch fish. I mean, there's different clubs that have different modified rules of KBF. So they're like, wait, which rule do I follow and don't follow with you guys? But KBF lets me do this. What? Why? It's just, it can get very confusing really quick. I just wish there was a set standard that was just set straight across the board.
Well, there's situations where certain KBF affiliate clubs don't abide by all KBF rules.
Yes, I was going to say that.
There's situations where it's not okay in the club level, but you could qualify for the national championship through that club, but then go fish in the national championship and the rules are different.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're affiliated with KBF, it should be the same rules. Period.
Yeah, well, I think KBF took a lot of shit over that for the years too. I think that's why you have such a like when you look at like a KBN site, why you have such like animosity. Because I think KBF made a lot of weird decisions and did a lot of things in the previous years, which a new company does. It takes a while to get shit, solid and right. But no one ever wants to think about that. Everybody just wants what they want right away. But it would be nice, but it just, I don't know. It's just the way it is, and you got to make that choice if you want to be a part of it, if you want to spend the $100 to fish these things or not. The great thing now though is that we have variety. We have
a lot of options.
We have a lot of options. Almost too many options.
Yeah.
It's almost a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, it really is, because you think about like last year, right? Like you had a few Hobie events, you had a pro and a trail event for KBF, which I don't know why you would ever fish the pro event last year, but whatever. but it's like
thanks, bro. Thanks.
We'll talk about this. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's like $100 here, $100 there. But now it's like I'm gonna travel all the way to Gunnerville. $250. I'm gonna go to Lake Fork, $250. I'm gonna go to Lake Seminole, $250. It's like there's like there are a lot of options, but now it's a lot of expensive options compared to last year when it was just your not local trail, but like your regional trail events with like KBF, and then like very few Hobie events. Now it's all over the place. Like I look at all these guys. Like you look at the names that have all competed at, and the tournament season's only been going on for like a few weeks now, right? Maybe a month.
Right.
Like, these guys have been traveling all over the place. They're going back to Lake Fork here pretty soon to do another event. And those guys have already done these like 4 or 5. They've already like their 5th tournament, 250. I'm not sure exactly how much bass was, but like $250 a pop. Like it's different now. Like I said, you can stay in the Northeast and just fish your KBF trail events. Now it's everyone's traveling across the country to go do and then crisscrossing too. Like I think Lake Fork has 3 big events this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
can't
there's
do
a KBF Pro Tour, a Hobie Bass event, and then like a KBF Trail or something, isn't it? Or no, there's a Bass event too.
Yeah. I just talked to Russ Snyder. He's getting ready to go back to Lake Fork. So it's crazy. I guess like for someone like me, that's why I'm sticking to when I set my goals up. I decided that, it's easier for me to just chase the KBF trail event. I can get to the places I want to get to. Not saying I'm going to, but as far as like, I got a chance to do like Angler of the Year, make it to Invitational or National Champ, all these things. So I have a reason why I'm doing it. So I don't need to go chase everything. I think it's the worst thing you could do if you don't have the don't put yourself in debt and financially stress out your family because you want to go fish all the Hobie events, the bass events, and make all those big travels. It's okay to stay local, fish your local events, fish your local KBF events, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you got the money to be able to travel the country like that, like some of these people do, that's cool too. But like me, like I can still do a lot of great things, or at least attempt to do a lot of great things in kayak bass fishing with the options that I do have.
Yeah.
And kind of going off of that, just because you're in a kayak doesn't mean you have to be a tournament angler.
No.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think, oh, you're in a kayak, you're a tournament angler. That's not true.
No.
I know a lot of guys that don't fish tournaments and they
Yeah.
just do it just for fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like, pick, I don't know, just do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's do whatever you want to do. I don't feel like you need to explain yourself to anyone. If you don't want to fish tournaments because you think tournaments are dumb, that's fine. Die on that sword, man. Like, it's your world, dude. Do what you got to do in it. But I mean, what I do, because of the variety, because of everything, like you're starting to, and we've all seen it. We started seeing it last year. Like, it's just like, are you a Hobie guy? Are you a KBF guy? And so I don't blame some people for being like, well, fuck KBF and Hobie. I'm just a kayak angler. I'm just gonna sit here and fish my lakes and have a good time. And guess what? I'm not going broke, because the majority of you guys who are fishing all these events, including me, you're never gonna win a check. You're never gonna accomplish. Like, fishing is hard. People have been doing it their whole lives, and they still haven't mastered it. It's like golf or something. Like, you better just enjoy doing it and not expect something big out of it, because more than likely you're not gonna get anything big out of it, because there's so many people that are doing it, and there's just so much to know. And like, who are you at one? Like, like, I don't.
You're in my head, dude. You're in my head.
But I like the competition side to say, like, it's just like who I am, like, character-wise. Like, I did jiu-jitsu. I started competing in jiu-jitsu. I love to just go out there and put myself. I love chasing things. With kayak fishing, it's taught me to at least calm down on it, to realize that this isn't like other sports. It's like it's not based off like how badass I am. It's based off how I understand the fish, the water. And like all the things that go into it. So it's like high stake gambling. And then the only thing about it is, like, the more you know, the better your chances are. But it's still gambling. So I don't take it as seriously as I would like another sport, where it's like the harder I train, the more prepared I am, the better I'll be at it. With this sport, it's just like, just go have a good time, because that might be all you get out of it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
I was gonna say, you got a calm level, bro?
Me? No.
You're always hyped up. You're always hyped up.
It's 11 o'clock and I'm fucking fired up, dude.
Man, I'm in that boat though.
You're in a boat?
I'm
in a kayak. No.
Hicks, you don't have to explain yourself, man. You do what makes you happy. The only thing
I do, man.
The only thing I ask, bro, is to quit wearing that goddamn dry suit. I hate it. You look like Big Bird trying to be safe in the water.
Hey, wait till you see pictures of me in it on that red bonafide I just got. I'm gonna look like Ronald McDonald.
I told you, like, the most important thing I ever learned in the military was rule number 1: always look cool. You get lost, make sure you got your Oakleys on and look cool. If you whatever it is, you always look cool. You don't look cool in that dry suit, bro. You broke rule number 1.
It's all good. I don't look cool without it either, so it's all good.
I get it. Everyone's trying to be safe, but I had to pick on you because when you win that picture, I'm like, oh man, that's a rough one. That's a rough one.
Yeah.
You guys aren't sponsored by Dry Suit or anything, right?
No.
Okay.
No, we're good.
That's hilarious. We're at an hour and 45, boys and girls.
We're gonna have to break it up into 2 episodes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Continue.
Part 1 and part 2.
I like it.
No, me and Josh did that one with John Hipsher in his hour and a half.
Yeah. It could go on and on, man. When you got good conversation and a good flow, it just goes, man. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
We need to hurry though, because I'm about to watch these fights, man.
Yeah, the fights are, but the main card's already started, so.
Oh.
The Israel Adesanya fight?
No, but the main card, like.
I was about to say.
Not the main event, the main card.
I was about to say, dude, I don't want to miss that fight because I love that dude.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Anyone?
I like cheese.
There you go, Milford.
I like cheese.
Susie, final thoughts?
Man, I could have a whole bunch of thoughts, but
Susie, go catch
Honey Badger doesn't give a fuck.
Oh! I like it. You 2.0? Anything?
Oh, I'm ready for the next one, man.
He's like, yeah, dude, I don't even know what you guys just talked about for the last 45 minutes.
We need to get Ryan on next time with you too.
Yeah. We need to get Josh back on with Milford. And I want Ryan I just want to watch Milford just get picked apart. Good. Josh. That's
Yeah,
right.
we can call it the roast of Ryan Milford.
Yes.
There you go.
That's what we should do. We should do a roast with each host.
Let's do it, dude. I like it.
I
That's
like
a
it.
good idea.
I like it. Everybody takes
Do
turns
it.
roast. I like it.
Yes.
I'm gonna nominate Ricketts as first up. There we go.
I got a good one that Josh already said, but
Yeah. Well, we'll have Josh back on for the roast.
yeah.
He's definitely got to take part in that because I'm sure he could definitely add some flavor to that. So
Yes, dude, I'm excited now.
that's like all those things I wanted to say to Ricketts. I'm gonna tell him to shove Loveland up his ass. Sorry, Loveland Canoe and Kayak, we love you.
They'll
But,
take my boat away.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Josh?
Nah, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. You know, I love you guys. I love your show. So it's always great.
Thanks.
Great seeing and talking to you guys.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for hopping on with us. And yeah, I got no final thoughts. So till next time, guys, tight lines, smooth paddling. Peace.
Tight paddles, smooth lines.
Go check out the website, guys. Paddle, the letter N in fin.com. Also check out YouTube, youtube.com/paddle-n-fin. If you got a question, comment, want to hear from a future guest, feel free to email us at paddle, the letter N in fin@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're doing giveaways, announcements, things like that at Facebook and Instagram at paddle and fin. Shout out to our show supporters, Rocktown Adventures, Loveland Canoe and Kayak, Hammered Lures, Fish Mob Lures, TRC Covers, Ketch Products. Go to ketchproducts.com. You can put the paddle and fin logo right on your catch board. Don't forget to go over and pick up your JigMasters Jigs. Use promo code PNF20 and save 20% today. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. It helps grow the audience, helps others find our podcast. So please drop a 5-star rating in on the podcast platform you're listening on. Don't forget about the recycled plastics program, you guys. Take your used plastic baits, put them in an envelope, mail them to the address in the show notes. Our man Eric Richards at Hammered Lures melts those down, makes new baits, and donates them to various chapters of Heroes on the Water.